Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is your host, Sharon Sirota at SunGates Center. And with me today is our special guest, Ella Arbit. Welcome, Ella.
Thank you.
Well, Ella graduated from the Integrative Medicine Fellowship founded by Dr. Andrew Weil. Ella studies from God, Mother, Father, and Ella has followers frequently coming to the radio station. We're happy to see Ella Arbit back from her spiritual retreat in Miami. So welcome back, Ella.
Thank you. I'm still feeling that I have not left Miami. My flow has not changed, which is a miracle. I think time speaks for itself. I did spend a good portion of my workflow walking at the beach, flowing in the visceral state of mind, which was perfected there in Miami. I found out that I'll probably leave this topic for later, but phenomenal part was that my preparation for receiving more gifts was concluded in Miami. And truly, for sure, when I came back to Chicago, our God, Mother, and Father gave me a music. As talented as I am, didn't expect to be talented in that respect, but it's their prerogative to choose what they wish. I have to comply with their wishes. I did play as a child, and then something happened within me. It turned off. I'm pleased to be gifted again. As it turned out, their plan has been in action for about a year and a half. But as a spiritual DNA grower, I feel that once you open, once you know bliss, because there was a lot of transcendency experiences there in Miami when I was at the beach. I was watching my heart very hard, and I knew that I need to be protective. The flow helps. So Buddha was walking with me at the beach. We prepared a lot of lectures. We prepared a book talking about transcendency. It's something that Buddha wants me to do because as they see us from above, they know us. The way we are, it's not very pleasant today. So it's not only spiritual DNA versus karma that I want to introduce today. It's about in-between states of mind, which is transcendency. It's very simple. It's very quick. I perfected the skill. I purified myself to the point that I don't even need Buddha by my side, but it helps. He's not a teacher to me, but he's an electrical charge, I would say, that helps my heart to anticipate much more love in the future because it's a nice way to be. It's a nice
absolutely.
way to be.
And when your heart can sing, and especially when being near the water, just feeling more closer to nature, things come out that you can get back in touch with. Getting back in touch with your true self. So emitting that and experiencing it. So you were talking today about our special topic, which is spiritual DNA versus karma. And, I know we talked about music and how music has influenced your life deeply and how those tones could really bring up the vibration or your frequency and bring up your energy so that you feel better about yourself and you feel good that you can either, do different things in your life and come from a higher place.
And I can give much more. I protected my girlfriend's life there. What happened is that I was told not to buy a return ticket, and I had no idea why. I know as a spiritual grower that I am not to ask because I cannot place my judgment against our parents. Spiritually, I'm very etiquette correct. Etiquette is something that archangels taught me before I began my spiritual DNA growth. But essentially, I protected my girlfriend 50 hours before she was meant to be injured in a car accident. Still have chills from that. I started to fight.
That's absolutely remarkable
Yeah.
that you can actually, sense something even, in the energy world, so to speak, that something can happen before it actually does. And so you become in tune with that. And just by a second or a fraction of a second can change the outcome of something that could have happened.
I started to fight 50 hours, and I was shown her experience. I saw what was sensational, that I was trusted for a reason that I was not encouraged, but internally I knew to fight. So she got hit. She was not injured. It was a miracle that I performed actually twice within 1 week. Then I helped her son via prayer. I was in a prayer mode. We went out to have Cuban coffee, which is a wonderful experience just in itself.
Sounds like fun. Sounds
very
like a good
much
time.
so. Miami is a great place. You know, I encourage everybody to go to Miami and be beautiful there, make friends and be popular. It's a great place. I'm thinking about Miami retreats. So that was my main goal. I promised divine source that I will be specific about that. So I actually accomplished everything, plus saved lives and made miracles. Miracles is a fortunate event. Miracles need to take place. And actually what happened, it was during the time Orlando shooting was taking place there.
Yeah, you were there during that
During
time.
that time, it was a shocking state of mind for all of us. But at the same time, God brought miracles. Her son was protected. I will not mention much more because it's a radio introduction to spiritual DNA versus karma. And how specific is that?
Mhm.
So they do come together, the good things and not so fortunate things. But at the same time, I'm protected. I'm loved. Transcendency was a wonderful experience during those times. So what happened? So my spiritual DNA was connected to me. And I actually accomplished my spiritual DNA growth. The way they describe me, 16 stories high, because my spiritual DNA is completed. I will not mention how it is for everybody, but I'll tell you that spiritual DNA is a structure inscribed in our blood. At the blood level, as a blood sister to my girlfriend, I was able to connect so deeply at the level that I was able to protect her. So I would mention it to all the girlfriends out there. Know yourself deeply so you can assist others, which goes into what we're taught above before we come. Heal yourself, help others. That's exactly what took place in my life. But spiritually speaking, nobody taught me. Father and mother instructed me to grow that link to them, essentially via my soul. I'm a vessel for other people. Thus, I teach that subject. What concerns spiritual world up there, it was mentioned a couple of times to me that there are false pretenders who talk about spiritual DNA topic. They're not correct. Simply because it needs to be action, not just beloved talk about something that is, it's obscene according to our parents, because you cannot introduce a topic you cannot support. So those who know that there is a spiritual DNA, be careful. Just watch, because it's blood-based. You need to be concrete about that.
And there's such a strong connection, especially with mother, and children, father, children, and also with our friends. Like you said, open up to that and just let things flow through you. And, some of our listeners may not really understand what you mean when you say the word karma. Can you describe in your mind what karma means?
In the radio setting, it's hard to describe karma in a great detail. Karma is also written in the heart chakra. Karma does not help. Karma pretends a lot. Karmic pathways are very important. It's magmatic. Karma is very harsh. Karma cannot heal, and it pretends a lot. So I'm going in circles right now because I see like my red blood cell is turning it because my soul does not want to even touch that word. So at the heart level, I see karma as such. My soul needs to stay in a pure state because I'm connected to love. So I protect my essence of who I am as a healer by actually producing results for people. Spiritually speaking, spiritual DNA is a topic for this century. It will help to link the generations, the new kids on the block, and the older kids like me and you, maybe, who don't know much about it. But it's like a garden. When God came to me, to my life, he said, you will be a gardener like me, he says. And a lot of times he says, I'm a gardener. When he wants to, pick my tone a little bit higher, he says, I'm a gardener. When I started, I was held by others because I didn't expect. I was not a seeker. I was not a spiritual person. I didn't know, but everybody started to come to my life, essential souls, to tell me the same exact thing. You came to grow a garden on earth. And it was a beautiful experience. So the garden is here. I already work in that garden. I already plant the seeds. I already assist the souls. I already do all that. It took me 5 years, day in and day out, 24/7. I never disconnect. They keep the connect. I don't know how to keep the connect. Although now I can demand the disconnect for a second. We tried that because the other day Father showed how talented I am. I actually turned away for a second, did what I needed to do, and I said, okay, period, I'm done. But he showed to me that disconnecting is not possible.
Right. We're always connected in some way. It's just a matter of tuning into that. And you mentioned about a garden, planting your seeds. What are you growing? What do you want to sow? What do you want to build in your life? So I imagine the garden even just being our earth plane, just being everything that we're doing here. And just, mentoring that and being a mentor to other people is also very, very high. What would you say to that?
What I would say, my vision about that garden, the weeds, I don't want to touch them in that garden. I don't want to be scolded by Father right now, but I will say, let him take care of karma. I just want to do a lot more of what I love, is to assist those souls that feel that their spirit needs something else, not just struggle. So those important people do themselves. Let them do the work, getting rid of karma by committing their souls to come to the clinic. Spiritual DNA Clinic exists now in Chicago at SunGates Center, where we're having this conversation. I can be reached at 602-571-0239. I needed supervision. I need my constant need to be met, and it's a constant need. Why we should not disconnect? Because we don't want to get sick. Karma is a disease process. Karma makes us blood. Okay, and I'm stuck right now with this word because Father doesn't want it to be mentioned. So away from the disease process, glow is the end result. Glow is guaranteed on first session. Why Buddha is here with me. He needs all to know it's his result that he's expecting. So Buddha came to earth with me as other ascension masters. I've mastered my skill above. I confirmed it here on earth. I've ascended many times, many people. Working here for 3 years on the radio, that was God's plan. I ascended with my spiritual talks. Thousands of people, tens of thousands of people know me by heart, by name. And I want to mention those souls ended up in heavens. So those souls who got spiritual retreats from me, those souls who feel uplifted, that was God's work.
Yes, and truly that people maybe consciously or even unconsciously know through the heart some kind of a connection, even a connection with yourself. So Ella, who supported you on your spiritual DNA growth path to enlightenment?
Only God can. Only God shall, and only God will.
So that's also helping you to be in the flow with divine source. It's also providing you with the knowledge, information that you need to be able to help other people who would come to the clinic.
Source came to me. Unfortunately, I did not know who I was in that respect, but Source came to me, and I did all kind of things that I wasn't supposed to do. If it's God, let Him prove it to me. Well, miracle after miracle, that was my beginning. But once I settled down, I started 5 years early. But deep down, something clicked with me, and it was God from within who told me, my own God from within, my divine parent connected with my God, with love source within me, to confirm that I'm ready, because it was 5 years early. But inside I told myself, I can start and will be fortunate to heal thyself and then others. You're not supposed to be tackling healing unless you're healed within. And He is the only light source, God, that resembles us, that knows us so deeply at the DNA level, that knows how to start up a process within us. I'm constantly connected. I'm a prophet. I work with many people. They all regard me. And I think it's a fortunate times for us to begin, because one-on-one, because what was set for me is to do 3 years of mass transition, and one-on-one is the time when I left medicine. I cleansed medicine out of my skull, I think, and reaffirmed myself with God that I am on the humanitarian path. It has nothing to do with medicine, shall not be introduced as medicine of the future or anything like that. Spiritual DNA is part of who we are as human beings, and we need to resemble Him.
Yes, I think that's so important, cleansing. I think of cleansing the body inside so that you do not get attached to medicines, that you're not taking something that is foreign to the body, because many times the body does not really know how to process it and just covers up and is a temporary fix for many things that are going on that ails you. But when things are transcended and they're brought up to a different light, a different vibration, frequency of love, for example, that these things transcend in the body. We hear of miracles happening all the time with people, even in stage 3, stage 4 cancer, that people don't want to go out that way. That's not what they're choosing. They're choosing something higher, something bigger, and that they have more focus and a purpose that they're putting their intentions on. And so by healing themselves, they can actually now go ahead and move forward with really what they came here to do.
Well, Buddha came during your speech right now, and he says transcendency is a good path for chronic pain, because it elevates your mind above the threshold of pain. And I was astonished recently by statistics that was on CNN. It's everywhere. It was a few weeks ago, about the number one killer for young population is opioids. And it's horrific. So transcendence is something that they're not naive about, but they cannot, because they unleash their pain, and then medicine unleash the painkillers on them. So they're double bounded by what they cannot be doing, because those kids are the grateful kids who came to assist us to transition further. It's not spectacular, but spectacular can be. So youth can be assisted at a great deal. I think it's our responsibility to connect at that level with people. Cancer, father is quiet about that. There's cancer in my family. My close relative has a cancer. It's something that I should not be talking about yet. It's his request. But codes, coding, I've done via spiritual DNA pathway. That will be in the future for me to do, because I love our parents enough to be so gifted and so transcended in a way that they didn't even anticipate from my life. They together tell me that I advanced myself beyond of what they expected of me. They need to talk to me about that more. There will be a book coming up about codes, but I don't want to be premature as of yet.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. So there's more to come, right?
Absolutely.
And, I think that things are helping us to awaken to what we're supposed to be doing here. There's been some information that's come out that the kids that are born now from the year 2000 and on are actually have come here to help us with our healing, with our journeys. And everyone born before the year 2000 actually came here with a karma or with some kind of an intent that needed to be healed within. Anytime that we're out of balance or that we're out of alignment, and this could be physically, it could be something going on with an illness. But when we find ourselves out of balance, that's just more of a way to help heal and something that is going on to improve our lifestyle that we need to become aware of. It's something that we needed to have an understanding for or an awareness just so that we waken up to something that is out of balance.
Yeah, what was just taking place last couple of seconds that my soul disconnected from the source and my support system, Archangel Michael, came up. So I can mention a little bit more about karma. At this level, I can talk. Karma is an obstacle on your pathway to your divinity. We're meant to experience this to a certain degree. We don't have to. So when I first began, I was talked to at the level that don't accept it. Karma shouldn't be your path. And it's not honest to have it. And we shouldn't struggle. So away from struggle is what I was kept together between father and mother. Away from struggle is a pathway that is very honest, very diligent. Very diligent. You cannot deviate. You can't. You should not anticipate any problems with your divine parents. If they take upon themselves to greet you at that level, you stay together. No matter how hard it is, you stay together. The support is on your own spirit because karma needs your spirit to mature. Spiritual DNA is a beautiful pathway. It's more automated by now than before when I first started. But that was my purpose to found this company, Divine Support LLC, to connect all the pieces of that DNA to support myself during these days and weeks and years at the level where it was mostly me and God. And I surrendered many times. I secluded many times. But my previous life experiences were just like that, being a mystical person myself, being supported in this realm to such a beautiful extent, gave me the opportunity to conclude it in a spiritually proper time. My designation stood by me. I was at some point a highest priestess in 12th century. I needed to remember who I was, and I stood together. I was not clever about that. You cannot imagine anything. It's a very hard experience if you start proclaiming that you know more than God or love intends you to know. But it's a proper experience day in and day after. Your experience that went wrong, if it went wrong, and things went wrong in my life. I met some immature people, but I didn't struggle because of them. I was surrounded by love until I could exclude those people in a kind way towards myself. I'm not responsible for those souls. So do no harm is a process of spiritual DNA. Do no harm. I don't want to be sick.
Oh, absolutely. And being healthy is also could be someone's karma, is that they are experiencing good health, but they see other people around them, being injured or such as Orlando, and that what they're seeing then is something outside of themselves occurring. And what you're saying then is not to be affected or think that that it will take you into another mind battle where
Protected.
you get
You can be
aggressive
protected,
or you have panic or you have anxiety, that where you experience those types of emotions. So it's to make sure that you stay clear of those types of things so you don't take those on inside the body, because the body can get stressed through many experiences, whether they're happening around you, but not to realize that, things are always going to be happening, but it's how you react to it. It's also what you're doing for yourself to keep yourself in a higher vibration, so that way you're not taken down with those emotions.
Well, it takes me a couple of seconds to release the coding that karma brings on people. So anybody who is close to people who carry karma cannot exclude it to the degree that we hope it can be. It's not rational to think you can simply include a little bit of vibration. No, it's a lot of work, but healing spiritual DNA is what I'm responsible for at this clinic, at this level. I left medicine for it. I love what I do. I see results that are enormously powerful. I was inspired during this growth as a medical professional to see beyond of what we were taught before. Nothing could compare. Nothing could compare. I'm ashamed of myself that I prescribed all those medications that shouldn't be prescribed to but I worked with elderly, so inspiration comes from love. Genome was my pathway. I was structured properly to know that transition is a must. I need to transition to a better way. I was supported by Matrix. I was supported by any kind of healing that I required. But I was not a healer. I was the devoted person to the new way of healing other people, but it's a humanitarian pathway. So I included, I think, a lot of information. It's a very proud pathway, but it needs to be consistent. The only problem with people who don't conclude themselves is they don't. It's not possible nowadays. It's not possible. People are more lethargic. They try to go into God knows what, into their spine, to distract themselves from what they're seeing around them. Watching news you can watch the news actually if you're supported. You cannot exclude the world around you. You shouldn't. But I can watch the news with no problem nowadays. And Father Hashem, I'm Hebrew, talks to me during those minutes and says, he provides me with information. I ask him honestly, and he doesn't prohibit me to say what he tells me. It could not. It was unavoidable, actually, Orlando. It was it was written for that person to do. I'm so sorry for those who don't disagree with me, but it's honest truth that it was written. That soul took that assignment. I shall say we're not naive people, because a lot are asking about the truth. So this is maybe the first time I'm telling about this truth. That's honest to disclose what I was properly told by divinity.
And absolutely, because, throughout history, we've seen a lot of, people step forward, take on that role assignment to actually, cause harm or cause some issues to come up for many, many people. And it's affected families, friends. It also affects the environment. It affects a lot of things that we see happening around us. And, when people have these role assignments, it's to help us also on everyone's journey and to see the miracles and to lighten the heart and to also have, maybe prayers or forgiveness or just some kind of a way to go within to help you on your spiritual path to become or move back to balance.
Free. I would say the end result is freedom. To conclude our conversation today, freedom is what I constantly seek in my daily life. Freedom is very accessible. To be free is what your soul wants. Your spirit follows your soul. It's a proper connection. I study spirituality with our parents at the level of their construction zone. So it's not just who we are as a spirit. No longer it's true. It's we're designed properly speaking, maybe our next conversation will be about health by design. It's a program that I'm introducing. It's a new topic, but I live by that design. We're designer kids. We're kids who need to know who we are, but love can be a glue between the previous centuries, the previous teachers, the previous states of minds to the new. I accepted that role before I came, and glue is very important. Glue can be light and love, the proper mixture of both. This is something we already talk. It's part of me. I need to know on my daily basis what part of me needs to be a little, if I'm not to confuse many topics, but this is where I am today. Father takes care of me at that level, and it's all about light and love. But how to mix it? Let's not pretend who can do it. There is no pill that mixes that. There is no pill that has a light and a love together in that capsule. But Father, not Mother, Father does that. So he's my main general hospital above, who gives me all that I need. I was cleansing blood tonight. I was doing that. Then I took, it's a very Hebrew ritual. I did that. It's a ritual from centuries ago that needs to be more inclusive, I think. Mother selected after that what I need to do. She even concluded what I need to wear for my spirit today. She allowed me to have certain, it was a topic, food was a topic. It's an enormous help. How would I know? It's not written because it's blood related. For each person, they need to know what they need. Even what I need to eat today was described to be. And this is to be a medicine and it was always a medicine. People were so glued to our parents in the past. I lived those lives.
Many of us, we've listened to our parents. We've heard ourselves even speak words that our parents have once told us, to eat all the food on your plate. There are people starving someplace else in the world. And, these things also, they live with us. And even though our parents, we know they did the best that they can, there's times that we have to have an understanding that, what served us before and may not even served us then is something that we need to move beyond. So it's moving beyond what the mind was telling us before of how we should be. So I think a lot of things happen because it's what our mind is thinking and because we're creating our own realities.
Not necessarily. It's very entangled. I study quantum. Quantum is an eye-opening experience. I will push a lot of science because 6 weeks by Miami Beach, oh my God, I took so much information, theories, to prove what needs to be done in the future. Oh my God. Speaking of parents, I'm more connected to our divine parents than to my biological parents. My biological parents are very gifted as well. Why I should be more connected to them? Growing up in a socialist country, and my parents experiencing World War II, and by the way, today, June 22nd, I think 75 years ago, the Second World War began. It's an unfortunate event, but my parents were affected by that. They were not injured, but psychologically it was a toll on their souls to experience something horrific, not brave. So my divine parents teach me more about what life is than my biological parents. And also religion was removed from our daily lives. We were not fortunate to have, we were lied to. We were told that religion doesn't exist. So imagine our divine parents come to me. I was a very structured person. I was a kind person, but completely naive in all respect. This is what they did with completely naive person who needed nothing more than just holistic health. Buddha's light. And Buddha came to life with me, and I didn't know. I was so ignorant. But was I ignorant? I was unfortunate not to know. So holistically, they gave me light. It was light of Buddha. It was terrific. It resolved what needed to be resolved on auto because my blood already was Hebrew. My blood knew the proper light, and I came from high vibration. But if even not coming from high vibration, it's still, we all work on auto. We all work on auto. It perfectly works with what God does for me. Perfectly. It's not religious even. Don't think it. For me, it's important. For me, it became an eye-opening experience, and I loved. I became devotional, and but became free because I went that far. I started to receive so much more. I was trusted. They knew how pure I was, how committed I went beyond medicine. I went to quantum. They started to give me so much more and ask for my attention because I was always studious. I was always an A+ student. I always helped other kids in the class. It kind of was good part of the former Soviet Union when you help another person. So although we were not religious, but we were kind of glued together kids. We knew a little bit maybe irrational beyond our self-help. It was part of the journey. But that was a pure part where we knew to help a kid in a classroom, and we were assigned to help. I was always assigned to a kid who doesn't know how to understand math or other sciences. It all came to me easily.
And as we're helping other people, we also learn ourselves even deeper, and we deepen that experience, becoming a teacher or becoming a mentor for someone. And it starts even as young children, that you're paired up with someone else that may not understand something. So that's a good learning tool. That's a great learning tool.
Yeah. Father is smiling in my face right now because we're in the election process. Bernie Sanders, he scared the hell out of me because I was sitting there. I was like, no. I left Russia. I left Soviet Union. I cannot be happening here. I love America. I don't want it. So it was like purposeful for me. It was like, cannot believe it's happening because it's not right. We suffered from that. All of us suffered. It was a distraction. I think Bernie Sanders was a great distraction, but history repeats itself. So at least we were reminded again what we shouldn't do. I think he's just naive.
So just so we're clear that when we talk politics, it doesn't mean that this establishment or anyone really, is saying that that's the way it should be. So not to take sides or not to say who's right and who's wrong, because, in the end, it doesn't really matter. Who's right and who's wrong.
It can matter because it suffocates you. If somebody who is a politician is wrong, it suffocated generations of people who came from former Soviet Union. So God loves America, and let America be pure. Let America not suffer. And God tells me a lot of times, I love America. I will support America.
And karma could also be about places. Not only just people.
And naive souls. Karma attaches to naive soul a lot quicker. It's a double problem. But that soul believes in what it is, but it doesn't mean that everybody has to be at that level, at the kids level. Don't judge me, but it is what it is. I studied with divine. Spiritual journey is behind me already. I'm at the level where I can be free. I can judge if I want to. If God wants me to take that position, I will. Politically, in the future, I know where I will be, actually. It's my pathway, and it's my honor to know what's ahead of me, by the way. That's part of not naive soul. So spiritual structure, which is a design, honestly tells you. Honesty protects you, and honesty prevails in a human mind that is healthy. We'll be teaching a lot of retreats about how to select, because a lot of souls no longer feel that they need to make decisions, fathers. But that's my divine self just kicked in. But that's not growing. It's part of protocol that can lead to karma. People need to know beyond their rational minds what's protective what's good for all, for safety of all, and how to take sides. No, it's not a part of what we need to do. We need to be less rational and more protected. Protected soul knows at all levels, at all times, in regards to everything in your life, because this is part of a human growth. And my path is very humanitarian. So I'm proud to say the words that Father gives me for what it is, the truth.
Oh, absolutely. And, we go expanded. We go beyond the mind. We go beyond.
But we need to be
what we see
present.
here.
But we need to be
Right.
present.
And
yeah.
to realize, too, just to have that awareness to understand and maybe, investigate, what is going on? What can we do better?
Absolutely.
How could we
Amen to those words.
move
Yeah.
forward
Amen.
and even do better and keep doing better?
It's honest. The honest cell within you gives good red blood cells. So it's good immunity. Trouble affect your immune system. That's why perfection of what the situation in my setting is a good healthy pathway for a good rational person once you master being rational at all levels. But when I began my pathway, I was asking Archangel Michael, why can't I know? And he says, you need to grow your light before you can. And he was not distracting me, but he was honest. So honesty and respect go hand in hand together. I've experienced that. I'm honest with all that. It goes away. The foggy mind goes away when they need you to know. First, they protect you, because once you start opening your eyes, it can be harsh. When you open your eyes and bright light comes at you, it's not very pleasant. So they know how to do it. It's not the love for attraction is, please provide for me. Providership is by love.
Right. And expanding your light also draws more light. And so just
Exponentially.
To be aware
But
that's happening.
But your blood cells need to accept enough, and that's where health and spirituality go hand in hand. It needs to accept enough so they can reproduce. I'm not anemic, for example. And I know how to talk to love a Father, who is my guardian angel for me, because I'm so close with him. I feel that he is not a medical provider for me. I feel that he's my State Farm insurance, more or less.
Your protector.
He's
there to help guard.
Oh my God!
Protect,
Beyond
keep
everybody.
safe.
Oh my God! And he is a jokester too, by the way. Once I asked him, Father, it was a rational question. I don't know how I came up with this question. I thought the ceiling will fall on my forehead, and there was a pause, a minute of silence, and he gave me a joke. That shut down a part of me that I don't know. It was an exclusive experience when he showed that side of him. It was fortunate. I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid at all.
Yes, that's what, many people have also expressed, that when they have some kind of a divine or a miracle or some kind of an expression of that they feel safe, that they don't feel that there's harm. They don't feel that they're out of control, that they actually feel more nurtured, or they feel loved, and they can sense that. And that the miracle is that you could bring that to you.
You have to.
When you need to.
You have to, because he always teaches us above, when I send you off to earth, don't forget me. And we give him a promise as we depart. We truly do, because I go back and forth. He teaches me, or it's on auto. I can listen to his teachings, by the way. That brought so many tears of heaven to my eyes when he would tune me in to what he was telling me before. Oh my God.
Yeah, and
it's
the
so powerful. It's so powerful.
Yeah, what we're saying here too is that, first of all, the light and the love is always around us and within us. It's just all the other things that we are using to cover it up.
Seeing it is important. But spiritual DNA, people who will be coming to me, my main responsibility to connect you with the proper setting that you came with. And only God knows what he gave you in particular, and nobody knows. So let him be your guardian angel. Forget that he's God.
And everyone's on their own journey. Especially we talked about
we
spiritual
all are on the same
DNA.
journey to bring happiness. It's the same journey to forget the karma and bring happiness. It's very simple. Once you get to the level where you're not afraid to be proper, it's very simple. Less structure is more trust. Happiness and love. It's 2 seconds away within you. But I was told to find it within myself. So finding that love within is very proper, hard if you don't trust. So trusting the source, that they know you, is a problem-solving ability in every human being. And I'm talking about human beings.
Right. And to know, too, that the separation really never occurred, that there really is no separation from divine source, that even though we're here now in human form, and we use the word human, like hue is the highest musical tone that you can also say, hue, and then man. So it's like here we are as human in human form, and just taking through that know that we are of divine. And when people start to realize that from a higher level, that the experiences that people are having, to know that it's still all divine.
It's a misconception, and please forgive me for clarifying. The true believer in me knows the truth. Ugly is everywhere, and the purpose is to open our eyes. We have not everybody is supported on this journey, and many times mother tells me who not to take as a student. I have to know that part, because not everybody is welcomed, and not everybody ends up in heavens. Heavens has layers as well. To leave heavens is easy as well. Coming back is tremendously hard. I go back and forth as an instrument, so I have to be very clear on who goes where and why. I've mastered that. So ascension, you're talking about ascension part, is not for all. So please forgive me. Ascension would be wonderful if we all can ascend, but it's actually last century problem. So this century, we need to be quick on our toes to combine ascension with spiritual DNA, with the quantum, with new topics. It's quick, it's rational at the level of design. So I help by design the program that will be explaining a lot of these topics. Yes, we came from the source, but source is not always divine source.
So it's just also, I really appreciate your comments, Ella, on how this is working, through you, and how your mind is also developing this for our listeners to actually see the way that you're perceiving this.
It's not in my mind. It's in my cell structure. Energetically, I belong to those who know love. On my eyebrow, I can talk to love. On one nerve, I can connect with love. On one nerve, I can connect. This is how strong I am. But he gave me all that. He perfected that. He made me. But that's during my structured time with him. So why was it so strict? Because if somebody doesn't love themselves, so I can be quick for them and give them, if Father wants them to be changed.
That's so incredible, because then that's where people actually see the beauty in the miracle, that they can see that things can be healed even instantly.
His
as
work,
you have done
not
that.
a miracle, his work.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everybody is a miracle seeker. Some are not. But this summer, it's the theme for this summer is love. So my clinic will not anticipate everybody coming in. When he's going to teach others about the proper time for let's all heal at the same time, it could be in 40 years. I don't know. So let's be realistic and see that I'm happy that we can introduce it. I'm happy there is the way. There will be resentment. I know that not everybody will be in the clinic, but it'll show them who they are.
Right. And I believe, too, that, when people are committed to their spiritual growth or committed to that side of them, that they'll show up.
I can only hope that people are committed.
And so thank you again, Ella Arbit, Really appreciate all of your wonderful, wonderful insights. And Ella is offering spiritual DNA retreats. She's the founder of Divine Support LLC. And for more information, you could contact Ella at 602-571-0239, or you can contact SunGates Center. So again, thank you, Ella. And I want to say thank you to all of our listeners. I want to wish you a wonderful, beautiful day.
And as always, at the end of each communication at SunGates Center, our divine parents, in my right ear, I hear Mother's words of support for the center and a blessing that she just gave me in my right ear. So God bless us all on this journey and the placement where I am going to help a lot of people. So God bless SunGates Center, and thank you all.
Yes, blessings to all. Have a great day.
Take care. Take care. Take care.